share, recipe share. Share a little recipe with Recipe Share. Recipe Share, Recipe Share. Share a little recipe with Recipe
Thank you for
Share.
joining us for this week's episode of Recipe Share, a program on AADL TV, where we take a few minutes to talk about recipes in a featured category. Today's category is the Happy Sandwich. I'm Beth, and I'm joined by Katie and Elizabeth to tell us about the recipe. So, Katie, tell us about your recipe today.
Okay, I will. So it does feel a little funny like calling this a recipe because it's just like assembling a sandwich, right? But here we go. The sandwich does make me very happy. So this is called the Summer Delight, and it is straight off of the menu of the Afternoon Delight Cafe in Ann Arbor. This is a wonderful option to order when you're there, but it's also very, very easy to replicate at home. So I do this pretty often, mostly in the summer, which is the season right now. So I have been wanting to make this. I haven't made it in a while, so I probably will make it soon now that I'm talking about it. Anyway, what you do is you start with 2 slices of whole wheat bread. That's how they make it there, but I have certainly made this on other kinds of bread and it's wonderful. And I also think this would be very good on a bagel because the first thing that you do is you spread cream cheese on one of your pieces of bread, your bottom piece. And then you layer sliced cucumber, shredded carrots, iceberg lettuce, and sliced tomatoes on top. And then you sprinkle it with sunflower seeds, cover that with a bunch of alfalfa sprouts, and then you drizzle ranch dressing over top of all of your veggies, top it with your final slice of bread or bagel, cut it in half, and enjoy. That is it. It is so simple, but it's just a really sort of refreshing veggie sandwich for the summer. So I really like it.
I love all that veg in there, and cream cheese on sandwiches is just such a treat. I love it.
Yeah, I think I could maybe make something like that today with, I don't have sprouts, but
Mm-hmm.
I also have cream cheese. And I have cucumbers. So yeah. I mean, yeah, that sounds really yummy.
Yeah.
It's very, very good. Elizabeth, tell us about your happy sandwich.
Okay, mine is also a veggie sandwich, actually. And this is for a chickpea salad sandwich. So what you do is in a bowl, you combine some olive oil, tahini, fresh lemon juice, and a grated clove of garlic. You whisk that together, and then you add in calls for 2 cans of rinsed and drained chickpeas. And then you kind of like mash them up a little bit. There's some that are still whole, but you just kind of mix it around. And then you add in a 1/2 cup of finely chopped celery, a 1/2 cup of finely chopped scallions, and then it called for a 1/2 cup of finely grated Parmesan, but I actually left that out because that seemed weird to me. I don't know. I was just like, why? It didn't like meld to me with the other ingredients, but I'm sure it would be good. And then you have it calls for a good loaf of multigrain bread, which I do feel like it's, would work with anything, as Katie said, but a good loaf of bread. And you spread mayo on each slice, and then you add some butter lettuce, some thinly sliced avocado, and some alfalfa sprouts. And then you put the salad on and you top with some thinly sliced tomato cut in half and call it good. And I actually have made making this for dinner in the summer because it's just kind of easy and like lighter. And, I don't always want to turn the oven on or stove if it's hot. So it's been really good. I have a photo here of one of the times I made it. And yeah, it's a nice veggie meal, and it's hearty too, enough for dinner with the chickpeas and everything. So I love it, and it's I've been making it all summer long.
Been seeing recipes like this that do the chickpea salad like as an alternative to like chicken salad or tuna salad, and I haven't tried it yet, and I'm excited to. This version seems a little bit different than some of the ones that I've looked at because it's got the tahini, and I really like that there's avocado on this. Like it all sounds really good, and I agree with you leaving out the cheese. But it sounds unique and interesting. I'm excited to try it.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing I would just eat anyway, like I've been making lately, just like, but as a salad, but putting it on bread would be good.
Yeah, I've seen some recipes that are kind of like, instead of tuna salad, the chickpeas with mayo and stuff,
Mhm.
which I have done. I think I might, maybe I talked about that several seasons ago. I can't remember. But this was kind of a different take on it, and I do like it, and it's pretty fresh and totally, Beth. I have sometimes if I have some left over, I just like, have a few spoonfuls, and it's great on its own. So,
Yeah.
um, Beth, tell us about your happy sandwich.
Well, mine was not vegetables. It was like total opposite of anything good for you. Um, I got this recipe for hot dogs and puff pastry from Ina Garten's Go-To Dinners that came out in 2022. She wrote it during the pandemic, and she challenged herself to create things that she had on hand, which, we all had to use what we had on hand at the beginning. So she took 4 hot dogs and used, she says 1 to 2 sheets of puff pastry. And honestly, I don't remember if I used 1 or 2, but we made 10 hot dogs with it. She had this particular way of wrapping it all up. So it was en croûte, and also put a little Dijon mustard on the inside before you totally wrap it up. So I played a lot with the puff pastry. I've got a picture of them in the oven, and you can see where I tried the one fully wrapped, and then it just seemed like a lot. I mean, 4 hot dogs, geez. So I ended up, just like I said, playing with it, and I think the best ones turned out to be sort of bun adjacent shaped, so they weren't like fully wrapped. But anyway, picture of that plated too, and it also had an egg wash on it. And then she called for Maldon flaked salt on over it before you pop it in the oven, and I used everything seasoning, which was really good too. So now, I was debating, since I made that, as like, do I really want to have a hot dog? And there's often, is a hot dog really a sandwich? But I well, it turned out, we were filming today, but Kurt pulled a couple of them out of the freezer, so that was something else that she uses a lot in this cookbook, is ways to freeze things. And so it did slap. Had it for lunch. It was good for a leftover. And so yeah, I mean, I would say, like what we did, make 10 of them, put some in the freezer, and I had it with some roasted veggies too to make it look better. So that was my recipe.
Well, I love hot dogs. I think it is debatable on whether it's a sandwich or not, but let's go with it. Yeah, that sounds great. I love that you can freeze them. I mean, that's amazing, and I wouldn't have thought of that. So I think it's very cool.
Yeah, thank you.
It sounds kind of like just like a full size, like pigs in a blanket, like like the appetizer, right? It's just like the whole thing,
Yes.
kind of.
Yes. And I was trying to remember, Elizabeth, if you had shared a pigs in a blanket recipe. I felt like you had, but I didn't.
think I did, because I make them for the Super Bowl.
Okay,
But
I couldn't find anything on in my email, so whatever. That's what
maybe
I
I
made
didn't.
with puff pastry, and you know what? It was food.
I love the everything seasoning that you
Yeah.
added too. I mean, that sounds really tasty and
Yeah, I mean, it's totally servable for people,
oh
and
yeah.
I couldn't remember if we shared them with the kiddos or not. But anyway, you know what? It is what it is. And I can't wait to try making your other sandwiches though. So without further ado, I will say thank you for watching Recipe Share. Be sure to click the link below to look at the event page on aadl.org to find the recipes we talked about and share your own in the comments. Join us next time when we will be talking about salads without lettuce. We look forward to seeing what you've been making, so thanks for sharing.
Recipe share, share a little recipe